Hello, hello. Happy Monday, April 13th, 2026. How is everybody? Good afternoon. Dustin, Russell, happy Monday. One question from last week for Dr. G's pilot stained feed. Which one on your site are you recommending? You want the not just deoxidizer. That will take care of ink as well as it's good for hard rubber stuff. Gabriel, hello. Ooh, excuse me. Things are finally settling down at the new store here. Good. I can't believe it's Monday already. It was kind of a short weekend, it seemed. Yeah, not just deoxidizer. Yeah. We had a nice visit on Saturday with an old client, and by old I mean he's been a client of ours since like maybe day 3. He doesn't live in Wisconsin anymore. He lives in Florida, but he was up visiting some friends who, as it turns out, happened to be about 2 blocks away. And so he stopped in and said hi. We haven't seen him in a while, so he didn't know we actually had a new shop up. So that was nice. We kind of had to wait a little bit longer than normal on Saturday for that, and then we went up to Green Bay, took a look at the location for where my daughter is going to have her wedding next year, which was an interesting trip. Because when we got there, I said, you know what, this kind of seems like getting to the place where one of our former photographers got married. Because I remember there being like roundabout after roundabout after roundabout after roundabout. And I said, if there's one more roundabout, we're not doing it here. and sure enough, we pull into the park and we're like, oh, well, this is where Jason got married. So we had a look around there. Slight change in plans as one of the gazebos where they wanted to have the ceremony has been torn down. So that is not going to be in play. But it looks like we are heading there this afternoon. I got there in a roundabout way. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Very nice. Yeah. I want to say it was like 7 or 9 roundabouts. No, we're not having it at the stadium. No. What do you think? I made out of money? I sell pens. But we're gonna head there again this afternoon. We had some questions. Apparently, we can't even book the place more than 365 days in advance. So, yeah, that joke does meet my joke level. West Side near Fleet Farm at Woodman's is nuts with roundabouts. Yeah. It was crazy. But it helped because we were like, we've been here. Yeah, it's a nice place. But we're walking all over the place, and so like halfway through, I'm like, oh, I got to start my Strava because we're walking, trying to find this gazebo that is nowhere on the grounds. In fact, there we go. There's David. You'll be in and out today. Hope you're having a fun afternoon. You'll have to reserve the park the moment the office opens a year from the. Yeah, well, so the way I look at it is this is going to force them to make sure, and apparently they do have a date. I just don't know what the date is, but we need to commit to a date, and then on that day we need to call, like at 8:00 in the morning or whatever we need to do. But yeah, with David's help, who is nowhere near Wisconsin, sending me satellite photos, it was hilarious. It was a beautiful afternoon, so it was a good day for a walk. But we figured it out. They tore the gazebo down for this to replace it with this open air shelter, which is not in any way beautiful. It's, it looks like a garage. It looks like a covered slab of cement is what it looks like. But apparently there's going to be a ping pong table there. So yippee. Anyway, brutalist chic. Yeah, I never heard of that, but yeah, that would probably describe it. So anyway, that was Saturday. Friday morning, if you hit the podcast, I did hit an estate sale Friday morning and managed to find a pen that we're going to work on today. Actually, I bought it for parts. So fingers crossed everything works right. Oh, excuse me. And then Sunday morning we went back because this particular estate sale company on Sunday after normal hours for like an hour everything is free. And so it's pouring rain here. And at 12:30 Lisa and I go back to the house where the estate sale is. And there's already like 50 people lined up down the sidewalk. It's pouring. It's intermittent. It's like it goes from nothing to like downpour. And I'm not bringing an umbrella and having to hang on to that. And they let like all 50 or 60 of us in the house at the same time. It was absolutely bonkers. I felt like it was one of those supermarket sweep shows, and people are just running around. I mean, the first thing I saw when I got in the door, and I was about maybe 50 people back, is some guy's moving out like a huge chest. So he must have been there in the morning and known what was going to be left over. But it was bonkers. It was turning up my anxiety level like a whole notch. Oddly enough, I was able to find a Parker 51 or a Parker Magnetics desk base, which actually is really quite nice. No trumpet, no pen, but for free, I'll add it to my pile. Some note cards. We always pick up. Here's a good tip for you too. Free is a tempting price. Yeah, it's a real nice. It's actually quite nice. It's got a little raised brass piece on it. No chips, no dings. But we always pick up whenever we can. Cheap, no-name ballpoints, and we scrap them for the springs and the refills because you never know when somebody needs a spring, and when they need a weird refill that only fits, it only fits that pen. So I keep the refills and I keep the springs. And so there were a couple boxes of cheap screen imprinted pens. We got home, we tore them apart, threw the rest in the garbage. No one does free stuff there. It is it was insane. I can see where somebody would go and there was a lot of good stuff there. If you had the wherewithal and the time to do some flipping, there was nice. We actually looked. There was a beautiful, very heavy glass punch bowl and glass set. An old projector. There were nice sets of dishes. There was some nice things. I mean, and people were coming in there with these bags that were like the size of a golf bag, and just filling it up. And it was ridiculous. People were walking around it was hilarious with bookshelves. And one woman got so exhausted from carrying this thing around that she stopped in the middle of the hall, and like myself and another guy were trying to get down that hallway, but we couldn't because she was just standing there, and she picked up the bookshelf, and the top piece of the side piece of the bookshelf came right off. So we're like, well, I'm going this way, so you do you, and we'll figure this out later. But um, so there wasn't much else. There were no other pens. The better pens that I left there on Friday were gone. Um, and ironically, there were some. For those of you old enough, and I don't know what the actual term is, but when I was a kid, we used to call them rubbers. Um, there were some rubbers in the garage to put over your shoes, so that when it rains, you don't get wet. And I'm trying to think if I still had mine, but I don't know. I almost grabbed a pair because it was raining and the sidewalks weren't flat, and so there was puddles for like multiple sections at a time along the sidewalk. They probably would have worked quite well because I looked at the shoes I look at shoes too. All of the shoes were exceptionally large. They must have been, I don't know, 12 or 13, size 12 or 13. They were huge. They were just obnoxiously large. So that didn't go over so well. But anyway, it was fun. Not all estate sales companies do that, but this one apparently does. And it's a great way to get rid of stuff. I mean, otherwise, what are you going to do with it? You got to take it to Goodwill. I mean, people were taking tables, and I mean, it just. There was a filing cabinet a guy was taking out. I mean, it was just hilarious. So it was all in good fun. So I might do it again. I'll keep an eye on those guys next time they have a estate sale in Wisconsin, in the area. But yeah, it's better to let people take what they want than to have to either pay to remove it or, I might need a punch bowl for. Well, we actually considered getting it for my daughter's wedding, but then we thought, well, we got to store this thing for a year. I mean, it was a big bowl. It was like, it was quite nice, but I'm like, we had no place to put this, and anything can happen in a year. I mean, I could have put it would have been too heavy for a popcorn bowl. It'd be ridiculous. It'd be the nicest popcorn bowl ever. So anyway, that was my Sunday. For those of you cycling fans, Paris-Roubaix on Sunday was exciting. I watched it while I worked. Did a little work on the website. We'll talk about that in a minute. If you haven't watched it, it's on Peacock. I haven't watched the women's race yet, but the men's race was outstanding. Just bonkers. And all day long, I have to remember this time of year, like from now until like October, I don't look at Facebook on days that there are races that I'm watching because there's always some blogger that's talking about whatever. And I had seen something that one of my favorite riders, Tadej Pogačar, had an incident. Mechanical, and then I remembered, I can't look on Facebook all day until I watch this, and it's a 6-hour race. So if you haven't seen it, it's one of the few instances where it's really the first 2 hours, maybe not much going on, but the last 3.5, 4 hours. Actually, I think it came under 6 hours. The last 3.5 hours, completely outstanding. You couldn't pick the winner at all. It's just insane. It's a good race. So if you've got Peacock, I highly recommend watching and you're interested in cycling, the Paris-Roubaix yesterday was fantastic. Really, really great race. Cries of joy and sorrow at the end. As it came down literally to the line. So that was my cycling excitement for the weekend. I'm going to mention real quick some website improvements for cardinalpens.com. If you go to the site now, you might notice a slightly different look and feel for a couple of the categories, the main categories. mainly writing instruments, ink, and stationery, which are the three big ones. We had to upgrade our plan, which is fine, but then gave us the option to utilize custom filters and filtering on the website. So, which is more along the lines of what every website does. A lot of websites do these days. Not every website, but your eBay, your Amazon, things like that. So we have many filters for pens, such as trim color, filling mechanism, nib material, brand, of course. There's like 7 or 8 different filters on that. For paper, it's paper size, weight, binding orientation, binding type. Ink is color, special properties, so all sorts of things you can now sort by those properties, volume, and price, of course, on all of those. And to help you find what you're looking for, maybe probably a little better than before. Most definitely a little better than before. So I've been working on that. There's probably still a couple of small little bugs, maybe something that's maybe not quite in the right category or something that happens, but as I find them, I fix them. But I spent hours on Saturday and hours on Sunday and hours this morning doing it. So I'm about 80, I'm about 90%, I think, positive it's probably good, and it's probably better than that. So take a look, and that's that. All right. Let's take a look at the bench, see what we got today. All right, we got the snorkels. We are going to get to these in a little bit. I'm going to put those on the back burner. Let's talk about these 3 pens. These 3 pens just came in today. Outstanding. These, we're just going to test these today. Make sure they feel, clean them up if necessary. They are going to be new consignment pens. We'll get them photographed tomorrow. They should be on the website by the end of the week. OMOS 140th anniversary. What a stunning blue color. And this is the real deal. This is the original. I hate that we have to differentiate the original OMOS from what they're making now, but this is the real deal. So very cool. I like that one a lot. With the original box. M800 green. Not much to say here. What do we got? A broad nib. Looks good. This is what? M400, M600, something like that. It has the wrong color nib. So it has a all rhodium plated 14 karat nib instead of the 2-tone. But this one is also a broad 14 karat nib. So we're just going to clean those up. Those will go up on the website hopefully this week. This is the poor guy that I found at the estate sale on Friday. And when I looked at the images on the estate sale site to try to determine what room of the house it was in, when I went to that particular room, it was not there. They had moved it. Its collector value is now gone. Yeah, well, this cap is just a disaster anyway. It's cracked, it's brassed, there was tape and string around the barrel here, probably so that they could just jam this on, because it doesn't really want to. I'm probably just going to throw this in ultrasonic and just soak it up, and who knows. I don't care, because I'm going to take the section, the feed, and the nib, and we're going to put them on this guy here, because this is cracked. So it should be, yeah, it should be correct. I was just astounded that this was the exact pen with the exact parts that I need to finish this one that I bought the week before. So, super happy about that. The nib is kind of extra fine-ish. But it'll probably write okay. So we're gonna work on that today. Probably first though, I think I need to seal these up. I need to seal these. That I need to seal. I must have sealed these, but I must have missed this one. So I'm just going to do that one real quick. The original price tag. Oh. I think we were okay with this. Oh, yeah, okay. That's why this was this VS button filler that okay, a little section sealing on there. Boy, is it toasty today. I went out to the car. I was going to get some gas ahead of this afternoon's trip to go back to this park. And sadly, the gas station was doing some maintenance or something. So I had to kind of turn around and drive back. But the car read 81 degrees. Just going to polish this up a little bit here. All right. Those are good to go. Got a snorkel over here too. What's going on here? This was soaking the entire weekend. The 61. See, it just seems to me that that ought to have filled more than that. Maybe it doesn't need to, though. Deal with that later. Let's see how this fills. If it takes up just a couple milliliters of ink, that would be as much as a large converter of ink. I mean, maybe that's how it's supposed to be. It just seems... It seems like it ought to be better than that. I mean, if that's the case, and what I need to do is I need to ink one up, and I need to use it like every day for like a week and see how much it, you know. Spin it out thoroughly and let it ink itself, yeah. All right, let's take a look at these guys so I can get these ready to go. I see a little moisture. This doesn't seem... There we go. I think it's probably just needs to be filled with a little water. Such a pretty color. Guess this is probably an ogiva of some sorts. (18-karat) medium nib. Probably got a little bit of flexibility to it. Okay. That looks good. Seeing a little bit of a leak. I don't know if it's just yeah, this we're gonna need to seal up. Let's put that in the ultrasonic. Yeah, leaking out the back too. Not really my cup of tea, but seems to have disassembled a little bit too easily. So we're just gonna we'll go from there. Hopefully these are okay. Did the last sale of jellyfish? Yeah. They sold out Friday night. A little disappointed I couldn't get another one, but another couple anyway. Well, we do what we can do. It's all we can ask for. Spin that out. This one works nicely. One of these days I'll get myself another pelican. That 400 that I had was really quite nice. Ages ago. Eons ago. All right, let's do these first. Let's see if this even fits in here. Oh, it does. Yeah, the meta shine is very subtle. I mean, you kind of have to hold it at the right angle in order to see it. Broad nibs on both of these pelicans. No boxes, but I do have those white sleeves that often come with pelicans. They're not pristine, so but there's something to put them in. I'm going to spin out this 61 here. Gonna get the water out of the snorkel, now we can ink it. So now for now. Oh. Deal with that in a minute. Those are done. Nice and smooth. However, snorkel tube looks like it twisted. Whole thing is weird. While we're waiting for that, let's just stick that .61 in the ink. All right, spin that out, and then we can seal it up, and then that one should be good to go. Back extractor, Rob, you can start getting some pens apart after work. Good for you. It's a nice tool. I hope Scott and I can work something out someday where I can carry that product. I'd love to be able to offer that to folks. Hopefully he'll be in, it would be good to see him if he's in Chicago. Which is just a couple weeks away. A little too much, but all right, that's done. Just going to heat up this bottle a little bit. Help the content settle. And while that heat is on, I'm going to see if I can get this section off of this pen here. I refused to turn the air conditioning on April 13th, although we had it on briefly yesterday because at the house, because the upstairs gets pretty hot. Because it's incredibly well insulated, and my bike room gets exceptionally warm too. You would die without air conditioning in April? Yeah, I'm usually okay without until August. But, you know, it's a different story here. It's unusual for it to be this warm. This time of year. Even though I'm not gonna use this barrel, I am going to clean it up a little bit because it's going to sit in my parts bin. And I don't like having this kind of stuff floating around the parts bin. It makes it messy. Yeah, it's unpredictable, isn't it? You got to wear a winter coat and a hat in the morning, and in the afternoon you better be wearing short sleeves. I actually went to go pick out a short sleeve shirt this morning, and I was a little tired, so I said, yeah, forget it. I'm not going to do that. And because I already had a long sleeve shirt in my hand. Just want to clean these threads up, at least get an idea what's going on here. They were covered in multiple layers of tape, and I mean, it's amazing what people would do to not buy a new pen. Looks like these threads are fairly well worn too, so. In their defense, that was an expensive pen in the day. Yeah. Yeah, probably what was it, $8, $8.50? But I figure as long as I've got it here before I... Well, you know, and it was the only fountain pen in the house. So they probably used it until they no longer needed to use it. Double check this nib. Looks great. That. Okay. Yeah, this really isn't worth much more than the parts that I paid for it. See anybody else clean their parts before they throw something in the parts bin? Or am I the only one? Storing clean parts is the way to go. Yeah. As clean as possible. Anyway. I'll just have to go in the front because there's a slot. Yes, it is. I didn't turn it on.
Oh, I have more of these. Where would you like them?
Put them in the one by the over there, not on the bench.
Okay. Over by the sacks.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So this is the fun part. Is getting this. Nope. That looks pretty good. The end of this threaded piece looks a little soft. First step, let's just clean it up. I think shellac is probably a good application here, just because you don't want this to get loose. That would mean ink in your pocket. Yeah, thread seal wouldn't be better. Yeah, wouldn't be. I mean, you know, all it would take would be a day like today, and having this pen like maybe in your jeans pocket or something, in your body heat for enough for that to come loose. The threads are short, yeah. It's actually notched too, but in a really unnatural way. So I can't tell if it's just soft or... Morning, Gary. Or what the deal is here. Your daylight savings starts, so you need to get up at 4 a.m. to see the start of the program? Oh my goodness. Thursdays are brutal then, since I'm in early. Actually, I've got this nice little dental pick here. Oh, great. It just got a weather alert on my phone. Here's a tornado watch in effect until 10 p.m. tonight. That's just what I want to hear. It is that time of year, too. Just want to get all the old, whatever this is in here. It's old sealant out. You can see a lot of that. Looks like thunderstorms at 8 o'clock tonight for me. Well, you know, I'll tell you one thing. There's no more snow. I wanted to go for a walk yesterday, but the wind was so, so wild. Like there was no way. Okay. Well, that's a much better fit now. Earlier in Green Bay. So I always want to put the nib in when I'm You're tightening that down. I'm going to let that sit. Let's just double check these. Yeah. This is pretty. I haven't bought an OMOS in a while. Mm. Clean these caps out. It's good. Wonder if that 61 is inked yet. It's what? Almost 30 minutes now. All right. What did I think of Roubaix? Awesome. It was really an awesome race. I talked about it briefly at the beginning. Probably you were still asleep. Of course, being a Pogačar fan, I wanted to see Pogačar win it, but you know, since Walt was if it had been almost anybody else, I mean, I really felt bad for Van der Poel. His chance to become a member of the 4-time Paris-Roubaix group, and the only one to do it 4 in a row, due to a extreme set of unfortunate incidences, mechanicals. You know, it's too bad. You know, if it was, he certainly would have been in there. And it looks like the rumor is that Jasper Philipsen's bike had prototype pedals on it, which was the reason that he couldn't use Philipsen's bike. Because I'm sitting there thinking, well, why on earth do these guys not have the same pedals? And then later on, it was revealed that, you know, he may have had some prototypes that don't use the same cleats. You know, I mean, that he lost a minute, at least a minute, just on that nonsense. Shimano's not going to hear the end of that, I bet. You know, and then his other domestique getting the yeah, it's a silly mistake by the team. I mean, if it's almost like if one guy's going to do it, everybody should do it. Or you don't put it in such an important race as Paris-Roubaix. You know, you put it in some other spring classic that's not, not a monument. I mean, just nutty, just completely nutty. I give props to his other guy who's trying to swap the wheel out and everything, but so wow, this section, I hate to say, is not that much better than the cracked one. I mean, it's not cracked, but it's got pliers marks on it. It's just, I'm gonna see if I can heat it up, and maybe some of that'll come out. I don't know. I doubt it. If it had been, I don't know, Pogačar and somebody from Hincapie's team or something, Lipowitz or Jasper Philipsen. I mean, but Wout deserves a win. If it doesn't come out, I'm welcome to your section. Wow, thank you. We'll see. And you couldn't ask for a better. The last 100 and 140K was just. If you didn't know who won, you couldn't guess at any given point. And that's the beauty of the race, of that particular race. I was really trying to work, and it just wasn't happening because it was just such. I mean, every 5 minutes something was happening. Somebody was having another mechanic. I mean, a lot of mechanicals. Like it seemed more mechanicals than normal. I don't know. But had Vanderpool, I mean, and Vanderpool did a hell of a job being 2.5 minutes behind and making up 2 minutes like that. I mean, it wasn't like that, but I mean, it was steady improvement. And he got to that 30-second mark, and that was it. He just couldn't pass that barrier. But Pogačar couldn't distance Van Aert, and Wout looked like, I didn't think Wout was going to make it. I thought for sure there was going to be a last-minute surge, and then that was going to be it. Drake predicted they would not get punctures. Oh, you watching? They're watching the same race we were watching. That's a bold statement. I wish I'd have known that. I would have bet on that. I bet against that. Well, and poor Visma got their tire pressure monitoring system marked illegal. What was it, 2 weeks before the race? I don't see why that should be marked illegal. I think that's a necessary improvement in technology. I mean, because it's not like it's not making the bike lighter. You got to have essentially a means to pump air into the tire. Let's see how good we can get this with a little micro mesh here, and maybe that'll be. So I was planning on watching the women's race tonight. Doesn't look like I'll get to do that, but I might be able to watch a little bit of it. But of course, there's and rightly so. There's quite a few people that are up in arms about the way the women's race was handled, and not giving them fair publicity is not the right word for it, but supposedly the televised race starts 70 or 80K in. You hate the UCI. You can never understand the rationale most times. It's a politics of self-interest. Yeah. And last year's decision to make handlebar with minimums when you have women who could benefit from that, and quite frankly, if you're forcing women to use handlebar widths that are too wide for their body, it's dangerous. I mean, you want to have minimum handlebar width rules. That's okay. Knock yourself out, but then there needs to be a men's rule and a women's rule, because they're two different anatomies. Can't believe I was really hoping this was going to be. Well, here's what we got. And that's kind of like a little divot. Same here. And then on the back. Well, David, if you want to bring your section to Chicago and put it in my pile. Yeah, I got a nib and feed out of it. So which I'll need for your section. So I don't feel too bad, but I just don't think that. I mean, this is going to be kind of a nice pen, and I just don't want it to have a, if it was going to be a user. Does this mean I have a pile? I now have a pile. I mean, I could rotate it, but then it's still going to look ugly. So let's knock this out. Let's just get that part done. I do now. Yay! There's nothing better than having a pile. Heat it more and polish it. Yeah, I could probably. The problem is it's really, really deep. I mean, you can. It's gonna affect the shape of. Yeah. I'll leave the feet in, or I could put this in there, which would help round it out a little bit. This is pretty close to that width almost, but I don't think it's coming back out. Yeah, I think it's too deep. I mean, it's worth keeping. It's worth. I mean, I just don't. I could probably get it a little bit better. I just don't think I'm going to get it good enough that I think. If this was a user grade pen and it was discolored or it was black or something, you rotate it 90 degrees and you got a good looking part here, and then you have a little bit on the side or on the back or something, and then that's okay. But well, I'm gonna get this pen together one way or another, and I got 2 more pieces that I needed. All right. All right, so this has been sitting in here for. Quite a bit. Wow. All right. Well, I'm actually I'm actually kind of impressed with that. Um, I'm gonna put it in my pocket, and I'm gonna write with it for a week. Actually, let's just dip test these. Lisa's gonna roll her eyes. You should weigh your 61 to see how much ink it holds. Yeah, it would be interesting. I just wish you could. I wish you could easily get that back, the cover over that capillary filling unit off. I've been able to get it off before, but now that I think about it, maybe only on like, I know one for sure, maybe two. Good afternoon, Andy. How you doing? Only broad nibs on today's stream. Sorry. Just kidding. Medium on this almost. I knew you'd like that. All right. Oh yeah, and when I was at the estate sale, I picked these up. These were actually polished cloths for shoe mitts, shoe shine. There was a huge box of shoe shine stuff, but I left all of it, but I took the cloths. I figured why not? You know, I can use them for polishing or anything. So, you've been trying to write with a medium lately? Not doing so good with it? All right. I think we just disassembled this last week. We didn't do any cleaning. Only because it freaks people out when you put shimmer in your extra fines. Yeah. Yeah, I would say. You grind the mediums down to extra fine. Just gonna identify that one somehow. right, so all of them, these two are identical. I wonder if I'll be able to tell the difference on these. Right? I'll just put a piece of tape on here. You got your first custom grind order, but it's on an extra fine. Oh, Andy. You know, we used to go to up to Mike Masayama, and we'd hand him a Sailor Pro Gear Slim with the side Togi on it. We say, hey, can you grind this finer? And without missing a beat, Mike would be like, yeah, sure, how fine do you want it? All right, I got about an hour today left. So may not have time to do everything. But we should be able to get these barrels put back together. Especially now that I know there's tornadoes coming. good. We'll do with that lever filler later. Let's see. So those are good. Get some O-rings on here. We'll reduce some of our parts in the tray. Come on. Make sure the beds are safe in the basement first if a tornado comes. I can't have a tornado because I've got my electrician coming on Wednesday. I can't believe they left. One of them left their coat at my house, and I can't believe that they weren't interested in at least coming back. I'm like, I don't care. Come back. I don't care if you can do the job or not, but dude wants his coat. It's cold. You were just going to ask about the electric work? Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday. Free pen cleaning. Good point. You put your pens in the basement. I guess that's the only good thing about my basement being the way it is. Because everything is off, most everything is off the ground. Tell the electrician every time you turn the light on in the bathroom, the dishwasher starts. Jesus. They've been to my house now. I don't know how many times. Is this the 4th time? Maybe? Well, it is a small O-ring. Oh, that's right. The green one was a fat touchdown. Well, this one's acting like it's too big, too. Did I grab the wrong O-ring again? Yeah, I did. Ta-da! Jesus. All right. All right, let's clean up the screws. Okay. Was a little stiff. Why is that so stiff? I don't see any shrinkage. Barrel was clean. It's weird. It chewed up the O-ring. That looks normal. Let's put another one in. I don't know what was just going on with that, but preparing snorkels. What's that? Oh, please. Yeah, I know. No, I'm already too hot.
Just be me. Who's everybody here? Hey, everybody. Free cleaning pen, and free pen cleaning.
We're discussing basements and whether we should
Do you remember that time that we had to go and we made a nest in the basement?
Oh, yes, I do remember.
Yeah. That's when the tornado actually came through. Hey, everybody. Actually came through and tore down houses or
Trees and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay was terrified.
Oh.
So. All right, I should go pretend to work.
Okay.
It's been a busy day.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like the snorkel.
Did you clean these already?
I had to disassemble that Omos.
Oh, I'm leaving.
It was not good.
Bye, everybody. My plan is to get out of there right at 5.
I'm going to be done early, too. Come on. Talking about your death set. Come on. What do I do with my screw? Boy, that's really a tight work is overrated, yeah. Really a tight fit there. If there's shrinkage there, then I can't see it. Oh my goodness. Of course, it's Canadian, so I just can't replace it with any barrel. I just don't see any shrinkage there. It seems to line up. A little bit of a gap there, though. I mean, that's an excessive amount of. Yeah, no, nothing in the channel. Not that I can see. No, it's clean as can be. Parts didn't get. I don't think so. Are Canadian touchdown tubes different than U.S. touchdown tubes? I gotta put this in. Back in now. Yeah, that's a small. I am losing my mind. There it is. All right, this is the original. Oh. Well, this other tube that I put in is, I think the tube itself is old O-ring adapts to the bad shape. This one is definitely round. Hmm. Hmm. So here's what I'm going to do, because I think I'm going nuts. I'm going to put these together. And then deal with that later. Yeah, so this, I tried this tube in that barrel. And that's how it should be. So it might be the barrel. I might have to try heating that up. Yeah, something not right in Denmark there. I'll try heating it up. Didn't have to laugh. I got a message from somebody on Facebook. They saw Ariel Kolek had a bunch of Parker desk sets, Parker and Sheaffer desk, I think it's Parker and Sheaffer desk sets for sale. They sent me the link. Kind of laughed. You picked up some old copies of Pen World magazines. The first one you opened up was the June 2017 issue. There was an article on AP, huh? Nice. Of course, I got silicone grease all over my hands. Got too much of a vacuum to get this. Oh, all right, last but not least. Okay. Always the really nice ones that don't want to go together. One, two, three, four, five, 7. Still got another one in the ultrasonic somewhere. Oh, there it is. I might get as far as putting these together, and then I might cut it loose. I tried to go get gas from the gas station at lunch, and they were completely, like almost all of the pumps were blocked off. Hmm. Sure doesn't look warped, but maybe. It's almost like that the O-ring is too big. It's literally chewed up the O-ring. Like I'm gonna have to put a different one in. But there is nothing in there. You can see how it chewed it up. Yeah. And here's I mean, there's nothing in there. Check the slot again. Yeah, there's nothing in there. I mean, the nice thing is it's blue, right? So you can see it. A piece of rubber from the last O-ring, but that's it. Smooth as can be. Doesn't look warped. That little black piece that was from that O-ring, that last O-ring. You try a new O-ring and leave the touchdown tube half out overnight to see if the pressure from it will help move things around. I mean, good thing I manufactured, have these O-rings manufactured. 3 on the same freaking snorkel. Well, let's try it again. Just leave it like that, huh? Yeah, it's worth a try, I guess. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it there for now. I am going to oops. Clean up. I got to get gas for the car. Oops. Wrong button. Sorry, YouTube. And we'll finish up. We'll continue working. We'll finish up these tomorrow. We'll continue working on these tomorrow. We'll test that OMOS. What else we got? I guess I'm going to have to come up with something else. I've got this 61 I got to put in my pocket here. We'll see how long it writes. I'll write with it a little bit tonight, maybe. Have a good trip to Green Bay. Yes, thank you. And we'll go from there. So, thanks everyone for tuning in today. Have a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, be well, and we'll catch you tomorrow afternoon, all right? Take care, everyone. Bye now.